Hello, everyone. It's now 8:38 p.m. and at night. Well, thankfully, I got help with the motel night. So I've been having a rough couple of days, the past couple of days. So yesterday, wait, no. Yeah, yesterday, the 18th, they falsely reported my YouTube video for yeah, as I said, they my I mean, they took a random old video and just falsely reported it for spam scam. That was that fake Darnell Williams perp, you know. And then on TikTok today, they falsely reported somebody falsely reported a random video for misinformation. I appealed that. They rejected the appeal. So that's the second um and I figured that because it's a false report of misinformation, I knew that they were going to reject the appeal. And I'm like, somebody waited a day later to falsely report that video. So, and I'm like, I didn't violate anything. So I'm wondering, so because of the Lahaina thing, what happened like 2 months ago, or 2.5 months ago, it seemed like if you mention directed energy weapons, well, us targets being hit with directed energy weapons, all you got to mention is the phrase directed energy weapons, and they will falsely flag you for misinformation on TikTok. So, excuse me. I mean, like we target individuals. We talk about being hit with direct energy weapons all the time. Even last night, um, they were hitting me in my heart again, and it was another night of. As I said, I think I got only 30 minutes of sleep, and well, so I had just enough food. I mean, just enough money for a motel night plus food plus I mean to eat decent today, and then have I bought couple of more hygiene items, soap and stuff like that, so excuse me. And I've been in the same outfit for over 2 weeks. And I'm still feeling slowed and sleep deprived, excuse me. So like I'm not gonna say where, but the online perps probably figured it out already. But I found some place where I could be safe at night and charge my phone and use the bathroom, but I can't get to rest or sleep comfortably, and I don't get peace and quiet. I don't get privacy, and I don't get to have a bath or a shower. Excuse me. So I'm not gonna divulge or say where I would go when I have to be street homeless. So, I mean, as I said, they probably fraudulently and illegally already figured it out. So, my the video that YouTube falsely nothing was misleading about the a video of me showing one of my short stories like I've been doing. And it's like, why would YouTube falsely agree that that video does violate the guidelines when I just show screenshots of a short story that I wrote. So excuse me. So the online perps always falsely accuse me of scam and fraud, and they haven't really done that until my twin sister lied, because she was upset about me figuring out, catching on, and unlocking the mystery that she's a gang stalker. Excuse me. So she had to use a fake smear campaign as a cover up, and got her flying monkey cult followers. And I'm sticking to the truth, and I'm sticking to my story, and I'm not backing down, and I'm not changing it either. My story has been consistent for the past several years. So she's a perp, and if y'all choose to be blind, y'all going to hell too. So yeah, she just wanted to I mean, ever since she lied and said that I was using, she she lied and said that she copied off the foster mom, with lying and saying that, oh, you just read your this on the internet and then diagnosed yourself with it, or you just want a group to belong to or whatever. But nah, I show footage every single day of me being gang stalked. So, if I wasn't a real TI, then my Candy Grand Prix channel would not have been unjustly striked right now. If I was a fake target. I mean, my TikTok would have never got shut down. My other TikTok would have never got shut down. I probably would have blew up and be like very successful with my ebooks. I can write the exact same content, and if I sold my soul, I can write the exact same words and get success. I would have been way more successful. With even worse quality writing than I already do. So I've been told that my writing is not that bad, but the perps want to falsely make it like as if everything about me is just the worst. And more than half of these perps they're illiterate and can't even read, can't even spell, can't even write. They can't even type. So they're not even educated. So excuse me. Well, last night I rode on the bus, and they had these 3 people who claimed to be from California or Mississippi or somewhere, and they were they were on the bus before me, and then sat in the front, and I went all the way to the back of the bus, and then I sprayed and sanitized the seats because they were dirty. Excuse me. And then they came and followed me to the back, and then blared very loud music or whatever from their phone, and then started complaining about the alcohol. Oh, something smell like alcohol. Well, motherfuckers, y'all should have stayed y'all asses, up at the front. Y'all, all three of y'all come and sit right behind me on a nearly empty ass bus. And excuse me, so they said that they missed their connecting transportation and had to wait overnight. Excuse me. And then I saw them again this morning, you know. So so then the guy said, I mean, they were trying to tell me that the guy, that he's from the country in Mississippi, and that this was the first time he ever rode on an like the first time he ever rode on an interstate or something like that, you know. And I'm like, wait a minute, how could that be possible if you look like you're almost as old as me? Or maybe they might have been in their 30s or something. Excuse me. Before Hurricane Katrina, I knew some people who never even traveled out of the city of New Orleans, not even for a vacation or anything like that. That they stayed consistently in New Orleans all that time, and then Hurricane Katrina was the first time they ever had to go live somewhere else or go travel somewhere else, and that was no vacation at all, So, well, this morning, that fake security guard, he left me alone this morning, but he was harassing a man about his food or whatever. He tried to make it like as if the man was stealing food or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just documenting that the security guard, he was harassing, another person. But other than that, it ain't my business. But just leave me the hell alone. Excuse me. And then they had that homeless perp that was fussing and cursing with the air, and then he kept on following me, you know. So this morning, um, I had the self-serve breakfast that was by the pound. It was by the pound, and it was. I guess I got like 0.8 pounds worth of food, and it turned out to be the breakfast by itself was the breakfast plate was $3.99. Is that sold $4.99 a pound. Excuse me. And so then I got the mucus in my throat. I'm sorry, y'all, from the tooth abscess. So I had like French toast sticks with a little bit of powdered sugar on it, not much, and I didn't put any syrup on it. And I had some eggs, some cheese grits, and one piece of fish, and that was like under 1 pound. And then I had like that Naked Juice Mighty Mango. It was on sale, I think $2.49, and then I got me a bottle of water. Um, and that was my breakfast. And for lunch, I had just simply a bowl of pasta, like noodle pasta. And for dinner, I had a burrito and like a Mexican sweet bread. It tastes kind of like cake, but it wasn't too sweet, and it didn't have icing on it, but it was really good, moist, and I had a beef burrito with rice and stuff, like, I guess vegetables and cheese or whatever. It was so good. So the man at the front desk, I figure he was at the I'm not gonna disclose which one, but he was at another motel I used to go to, and now he works here. And I'm like, well, the fact that it just dawned on me that if that's that same man, he had weird communication that he did because he's a perp, and he always puts me in like at the other motel, he will always put me in like in the same room. And I did not realize that was before I knew the outs and ins. I mean, I had a little bit of knowledge, but not full blown. Now, I still don't have 100% knowledge of everything about this targeting program. So, yeah, that man, it dawned on me that he's also definitely a perp. So, like, when I checked out of the motel like a couple of days ago, he that motherfucker was gonna hold my $10 deposit hostage, and he did not release the refund. So I called up the next morning, which was like 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I don't remember if it was yesterday morning. And I called it. Excuse me. I called and asked him about the key deposit refund, and he, acted a little weird and a little bit slightly smart ass, and it wasn't until after I called him and confronted him about it, and that's when he released the deposit back. I'm like, that could have been a meal that I could have eaten, excuse me, $10 or less I would have had to panhandle for, or try to, because last night I could have had $12.50 instead of $2.50 in the bank. But nah, he was holding my later on, it was probably in the middle of the night or something. The $10 hit my bank account. So also, like, I didn't get to succeed at taking a nap before lunch, but after lunch, I think I probably got 20 minutes of sleep. And at one point, I tried to doze off and go to sleep. And the Creole Queen boat, the very instant I dozed off, whoever was operating it had honked the horn on purpose to try to startle me out of my sleep. As soon as I try to close my eyes and try to doze off and go to sleep. And then I was up for a little while and then try to go back to sleep. And I ended up like probably had like slept for maximum 20 minutes, probably. And then there was these two old white ladies sitting next to me on the bench, and then I didn't even know that they had a concert or whatever, that music or whatever. And then I meant for that to be that in the video after. I meant for it to be one video, but I accidentally pressed the stop button when I meant to press pause. And so the video was supposed to be over 15 minutes long rather than 14 or 1 minute or whatever. So, and then I got here and I took a shower. Like, one of the first things I did was take a shower. And whatever that particular hand towel for some reason was not lathering up that great. And the man put me in the same room, as I was the last time. And this time um today when I had my shower, um they were squeezing my organs. And then I also had to deal with a perp that dropped off somebody, and he had a super loud white truck with a broken headlight on the left side and one headlight on the right side. And he left the truck idling really loud, and I'm like, just freaking ridiculous. And then, you know, I finally called the electricity company from Pensacola, and finally I was able to talk to somebody, and she said that whenever I can get an established mailing address, then she can send me the deposit. She can send me the deposit for the for the you know she can send me the deposit for the deposit refund, the security deposit refund or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I don't even. This is my first time in my life that I don't even have an come on, man, stupid motherfuckers. So I mean, like, I've been here longer than 10 days, so I can't find a place where I can get a mailing address. So I was supposed to. I mean, I'm not driving, but I was supposed to have had my driver's license switched back over within 10 days. But as I said, I don't have an address. And even when I went to Cincinnati, I tried to go to that homeless day center in Cincinnati and dealt with homeless perps violating my space and getting close to me, touching me, and me getting into confrontations and arguments with them, and me have with my OCD and everything, and them crowd invading my space and being dirty and everything like that. So and and then they try to get ignorant and try to fight me or make threats at me and stuff. So that's why I want to even just stay away from the homeless day centers or drop-in centers. I don't even go to those because they will even mob me out of there or try to kick me out of there too. you know and they gang up on me or mob me if I were to try to take a shower. The showers are filthy and disgusting, and you never know what kind of disease or STD somebody has. You know, and the very moment that I closed the door behind myself, they're already banging on the door, rushing me out of the shower, and I didn't realize that, and falsely accusing me of taking too long. And I didn't realize that was part of the narcissistic gang stalking. Also, I'm like, I just closed the door behind myself, and then y'all falsely accused me of being in there for over an hour. And I'm not. I mean, for y'all to over exaggerate and play all kinds of psychological games, I just can't deal with it. So I'm not even gonna try to use the homeless day centers to try to get mail, or I'm not using them for any services at all. You know, and the waterfront mission in Pensacola, they used to play with my mail and then lie and say that they don't have mail and stuff like that. And I think I only took a shower there one time, but they made things so difficult, and they force you to hand in all your belongings. You know, and they won't even allow you to take your bags with you. They, as I said, they operated like some kind of prison or detention. Even the homeless day shelters or the day centers, they operated like a prison detention center or something like that. And then end up having like so many perps to come and try to set you up, trigger, provoke, harass, and do whatever. So Excuse me. So yeah, the sleep deprivation, it make my body weaker, it make me more sensitive, it make my Tourette's worse, it increases my unwanted intrusive thoughts, and I end up sitting here feeling like, with the sleep deprivation, I end up being more moody and irritable, and having like, feeling like I have less self-control, you know. So I mean, where I was at, I guess it was uncomfortable and cold, you know. I guess that was keeping me from falling asleep. And so yeah, they, with the Target's life, they forced everything to be more expensive. Stuff that could be free or very low cost, they harassed the Target in a way where they gotta be forced to live where everything has to, where everything has to be way more expensive than necessary. Like my cheap $213 a month apartment. Yeah, the gang stalking network, they plotted since day one to conspire to have me evicted. They've been threatening to have my neighbors to jump me, or threatening to call up the housing commission. And they followed through with every threat that they said that they were going to do. And now they're pushing a false narrative, lying and saying that I voluntarily left the place willingly, or that I could have stayed there, in which they were, that they do that just like with the employment. They will brag, excuse me, they will make threats to find out where I'm working at and call up the place, and show them my YouTube videos, and they do just that. And then when I'm wrongfully fired or banned for the rest of my life from that place, they will lie and say that I quit several jobs willingly, in which they took part in conspiring to have me wrongfully fired and banned. So they try to make it like where everything has to be way more expensive for the targeted individual, but then at the same time, they don't let us work. And if they do, no matter how educated or lack of educated we are, they force us to have to have like low wage part time jobs, and will not allow us to work full time, and then hit us with direct energy weapons so bad that you cannot perform properly on a job, and then they turn around and blame you and say it's your fault, or they will try to manipulate for you to fall asleep at work through the direct energy weapons and stuff. So and they say that the gang stalking is behavior modification. So they want to try to, the gang stalking network cult, they want to keep tabs and making sure that I'm conforming to society. But the Bible says, be not conformed to this world. You know, and wow, the scripture just ran across perfectly through my head and then slipped my mind. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed through the renewing of your mind to do that good and acceptable work of God. I don't know if I quoted it precisely, but um yeah, and I forgot the exact scripture. Is it Romans 12:2? I forgot. I might be correct, but I could be wrong. So that, like, and then they have certain perps that try to pretend to be Christian, and then try to force psychiatry and mental health on you when you're putting your faith in man and not God, when um you rely on psychiatry in the mental health system. And then I like religious narcs. They love to try to jump down my throat and talk about me putting my faith in man. Excuse me. So, but due to my circumstance, I have not been able to be well rested enough to work on any short stories or any writings or anything like that. In the middle of the night, super early this morning, I was super early this morning. I was you know, I was very sleep deprived and couldn't sleep, but I had the burning urge to want to write something on a blog, like a just venting journal, like an open blog journal post. But um yeah, I was too sleep deprived and too tired, but at the same time could not sleep. But then so I gotta find a way to get an established address so I can get that refund back, the deposit refund. But I can't use the homeless day centers already um as I already described and explained. So this is gonna be rough for me, and I don't have any family member. I have all this family here, but nobody who I can trust, or nobody who would be willing to allow me to have my mail come to their house. And I cannot trust Ramona at all. Drunk Lady Yvonne, my biological aunt Yvonne, she would be evil and just throw my mail away. I mean, as hateful as Yvonne is, I'm surprised she's fraudulently and illegally popular and well liked. People don't even stay away from her, but she treats people so damn nasty, for nothing. And you never know when she's gonna be she's an alcoholic, and you never know when she's gonna be an asshole drunk or a friendly drunk. And over a very small argument, she still has not desired to contact me since 2018. And all I did was tell her, like, she got mad and hated my presence and my existence at her house. I'm her biological fucking niece. And she just was yelling at and cussing talking to somebody on the phone and yelling about me and cussing for no reason. And talking so horribly about me. And then her son, my cousin Daryl Jr., who they call Do, he was perping me with one of Aaliyah's songs. And then he started to act like a perp ever since. And then he would, if I see him in public riding a bus or something, he would make a big fucking scene. And it's like with David Jane, it's like, dude, I never got to get close to Rebecca, Do, or Blake. I never got to get close with my cousins, But, and Do, I really hardly saw him around that much. And at one point in 2015, like 2015, 16, 17, it seemed like as if he was making attempts at trying to get close with me and call me up, talk on the phone with me or whatever. But then I don't know what happened that they got him to become a perp, and that narcissistic personality got put into him too. Cause he never used to be like he never used to and after dude became a perp, that's when his birthday come around, November 1st, which is around the corner. And I if they would have like lavish birthday parties for him. Before he sold out, they used to treat him. They used to laugh at him and treat him like they do me and Sean, the biological brother Sean. So like the other biological brother Wyatt, he in 2007 he tried to tell me when we were in Denton, Texas, at Mark's house. Wyatt said, "Do you want to be lied to like Sean and do for the rest of your life?" And then he said that Sean told me that other family members being like, "Well, why you talk to the retarded girl of the family?" Talking about me. So even Mark and Pete have had phone conversations where they have talked so horribly bad about me in front of my face. And one of the worst things to do is live with a perp, family or not. And I'm like, I don't even know if they let Pete out of prison so that he could perp me or try to be my handler or something. And it didn't work. I lasted not even 3 weeks living with Pete. And Pete would like pick arguments with me and harass me unprovoked for no reason every single day. And Mark would do the same thing. Or narcissistically lecture me, or be extremely controlling, steal my money, be very abusive. And those are my brothers. And I have 5 brothers, and not one brother would be there to protect me. Derek and Pete, they physically abuse and beat on women. The foster brother Joe physically abused and beat on women and children. The foster brother-in-law Brian, he physically abuses and beats on children and then brags about it. They got some perps talking loud near my motel room door. So when I went out to eat, to go get something food to eat, you hear them outside? When I went to try to go get dinner to eat, they had a perp it was a white male with long hair. And it's like, if you stand in a motel and you're not homeless, I know you have a vehicle to drive. I don't understand how you could be so dirty like that. Or how is your shirt or your clothes so dirty? And he was filming the fuck out of me. Like the very moment and then also after I got the keys to the motel room, the very moment I opened the door, there was a black couple that walked outside of out of their motel room, and probably went in their car and went to go somewhere. So they went in their car to go somewhere. Like the moment I opened the door to try to enter into my motel room. So that perp with the extremely dirty tank top, and then I saw him at the front desk lean against the counter, and I felt so grossed out, it made me not even want to stay here no more. And I mean, like, you have the keys to the motel room, you don't even take a shower, and you sit there and how can you lay in the bed, but this shirt doesn't even stink that bad, But I mean, 2 nights of no hotel or motel room. Um, the bad smell started to get stronger. You know, but due to me my situation that happened, like I had no choice. But that man was a perp being dirty on purpose to make me feel uncomfortable. They'll send perps like that. These these perps are outside my motel room talking loud. And shortly before I turned on the video, they had some perps that were above me. I mean, they were above me and sounded like they was doing some stumping, or they were a little bit loud for a few minutes. So this afternoon, about 3 o'clock, after I took my shower, I think I dozed off a bit for about 20 minutes, and then the lady called, and then after that, the lady from the Florida electricity company, and then I I want to go outside and tell those motherfuckers, get the hell away from my door. So then, yeah, they're loud, ghetto, and ignorant. And then, um, afterwards, I after the phone conversation, I dozed back off and fell asleep, and I think I slept again from like, because the phone conversation was probably not even 5 minutes, and then I dozed back off. She called me sometime after 3:30, and then um after that, um I don't remember if it was 6 o'clock or 6:30 that I woke up. So I mean, on this targeted by the Psych World backup channel, I thought I did live streams on here before, maybe, but I try to do a live stream tonight and couldn't. I couldn't because it said something about that I have to wait 24 hours or something. So, but like I now see yesterday when I asked Team YouTube on Twitter about my account, they responded to me. But then, after the appeal rejection, I made multiple tweets or multiple posts, you know, about them participating in gang stalking, and then they ignored the shit out of me. You hear them talking loud near my door? They huddle near my door and talk loud. You just heard them laugh loud? So, yeah. So, they made everything life threatening. Like, I feel like ever since, I mean, this happened multiple times, I'm just not even going to try to seek getting on any more housing lists or any low income housing. I'm very traumatized. So, I'm very traumatized. So, see, I got to be forced to put my earbuds in. And I think they have some idiots probably watching TV. I can hear that. Even earlier when I try to take a nap, just disturb me with the loud TV. So, and the fake Darnell Williams perp had the audacity to try to come and harass me again. You know, so well, so yeah, I'm not trying anymore. Excuse me. I'm not trying anymore with the low income HUD housing. I'm not trying that no more. What's the point of being homeless and then waiting 4 years to get on a housing list and just to be gang stalked and bullied and your life threatened and you end up losing all your possessions all within 1 month. So because I mean, if I would have got to keep all my belongings, then that would have made my storage unit would have been worthwhile. But what made it a waste was those years of having a storage unit just to be forced to have to throw everything away in a way an attempt to save my life. You know, so one thing I don't get is the gang stalkers. They stalk, follow, and harass, and then you stand up for yourself, and then they'll make it like you started first, and that they have every right to use whatever violence they want against you. But or they'll say Candy is gonna one day fuck with the wrong one. But the professed targeted individuals say that the gang stalkers are gonna one day fuck with the wrong targeted individual. And the gang stalkers are gonna be the ones to fuck around and find out. Well, they're already gonna fuck around and find out when they burn in hell for eternity. That will be the real ultimate fucking around and finding out. That will be the ultimate big time fucking around and finding out. And don't say I didn't warn you. You know, I mean, the online gang stalkers think they got the fake authority to try to police how I should behave at work when I have a job. And they don't want me exposing anything. And the more I expose, the more they attack and harass. But they pretend to be fake self-righteous do-gooders. You know. But it seems very much like as if they're trying very hard to push, they're working overtime to worsen their tactics to push even harder to they act like as if they want me to feel like, they're trying to push me to the point where they're trying to make it like as if they want to try to force me off of the earth and make me feel like as if they're trying to push me to feel like giving up on fighting to survive and just committing suicide is the only option I have. But I'm traumatized by my past suicide attempts, and I'm surprised that I have not broken down yet, despite what I've been through. And I'm still continuing to fight. And I'm like, these people do not have the authority to force me to stop asking for help. So I did not mislead anyone with sharing my short stories. So, but it's okay for the fake Darnell Williams perp to make a fake account talking about Candy as a dyke. But then he falsely accused me of being racist and homophobic. And then he tried to falsely portray me as a devil. Team YouTube on Twitter, when I showed his fake account, um, they didn't do anything about it. So, like, they have their just like with the fake apartment thing, they have their minds made up to defend and agree with the wicked and falsely accuse the wicked perps of being the victims. And then they had this perp that lied and said he was targeted and mentioned something about, oh, it's interesting that you're filming and recording random cars and this is coming from a real TI. And I'm like, well, I blocked him because I knew you have only one subscriber, 5-month-old account, and no video, no YouTube videos at all. So one thing that all of us targeted individuals need to be doing is supporting each other, of course, but we all need to be spreading and sharing. We all need to spread and share each other's videos. But y'all be selective and nitpicky and narcissistic on who you think deserve. The popular fakes all huddle together and promote each other. Wow, right when I said that, they gave me a nauseating headache right now. So, you know, and I heard that there are more targeted individuals being pushed into homelessness. And the ones who don't, I mean, if they end up not being pushed into homelessness and then they still have their nice ass cars and houses, and they be the popular fakes that sold out. And they do worse than the regular perps. So I'm in the worst homeless predicament that I've ever been in. The fact that I can't even get an address. I can't use any address. So I can get my driver's license switched over so that I can get job opportunities. And then job opportunities won't hire you because you're homeless. I'm like, well, how could I expect to get off my feet if you tell me straight to my face? Like Joe Patty's Seafood in Pensacola told me straight to my face that they won't hire me because I'm homeless and that homeless people are troublemakers. I don't do gym memberships because they act like they think they own your bank account. They won't allow you to pay cash, and they hold your debit card and your bank account hostage, and they go in and yank in and take money out whenever they feel like it. So how would I pay for Planet Fitness to go take a shower and go use their gym facility just to only be wrongfully kicked out and banned after 2 days and can't even cancel the membership, and then they keep taking money out? So not just with Planet Fitness, but with any gym. So that's the reason why I don't go to the gym and will not go to the gym. Well, I mean, as long as so I was trying to find any gym facilities that would accept cash, or if I can make a one-time payment with the debit card, but not for them to act like as if they want to narcissistically demand automated clearinghouse of your bank routing number and account number and all that. No. So I already mentioned about at the Treme Center, in which that area is very Masonic. Like everything is Masonic over there by the Treme area, which is, very close to downtown. So the Treme area is very Masonic. I'm not getting. I don't want to get chlorine in my hair anymore. Like to go swimming, you know. As I said, I want to try to let my hair grow back out. Excuse me. So they allow other homeless women to go just take a shower there for free, and they don't have to swim. But they created a fake street theater situation where they had planted a young guy there to bully and harass me and falsely accuse me of being a pedophile just for being homeless. And then he said I have to be swimming. And I can't just go take a shower, and I have to be swimming. And at Pensacola State College, that Kay Miller elderly lady, she seems like a masculine lesbian herself. I'm a heterosexual female, but she tried to falsely accuse me of, because I'm homeless, she was extremely prejudiced towards me. And she was an abusive, narcissistic perp. Excuse me. So I didn't even finish that enrolling in 2019. I didn't even finish the semester of that so-called class with just swimming. But I went over to UWF, and it's much better over there. So, and even with UWF, I was able to pay for the semester and pay cash if I wanted to, or pay one-time debit card. But the fake dirty YMCA, the showers at the downtown Pensacola YMCA really, really sucks. It really sucks. So, and then a lot of these gyms in the YMCA, they don't allow you to have like overnight storage to store your belongings. Like even if it's a small amount, it's only day lockers. You're not allowed to store them overnight, but you pay so much to use their gym and their facilities and everything. But UWF, you were able to rent a locker for the whole semester. Oh wait, I think they did have at the YMCA that you were able to have a locker to store belongings over, like, for a certain rental period. So they wrongfully banned. Well, first I was working at the YMCA in downtown Pensacola, and they wrongfully fired and banned me. And then when I went to the YMCA again, they made up a lie on me for an excuse to wrongfully ban me. So I got wrongfully banned from there twice, and they were always harassing me really heavy and gang stalking me really bad. Or they would treat me like they think I deserve to be punished. And, some of the workers would even be black people, and they're young enough to be my child. But then I would hear, excuse me, I would hear a lot of people say that might be why the hood black people don't even go to downtown Pensacola. Because people will always whisper and talk about how downtown Pensacola is so racist and only for the rich folks, So, yeah, I mean, I've heard that since I first got to Pensacola, that downtown Pensacola is extremely racist. So, Oh. But I'm trying as best as I could to keep my sanity. And I guess, you know, can't even rely on people to talk to. And during this time, they have so many narcs trying to prey on me. They see me to be vulnerable. And if they have a narcissistic control freak fake TI perp that want to try to force you to go to a shelter or try to force you to tolerate the noise campaigns and say you're going to tolerate it, or you going to have to do this, or you going to, I'm like, I ain't doing shit. You know, I shouldn't have to tolerate any gang stalking abuse. And I have a right to defend myself and fight back. You know, so they got narcs trying to exploit and prey on me, or they would try to sabotage me getting help while pretending that they're helping me. And they say, oh, just tell them you're homeless. You don't have to have an address to get food stamps. Yes, you do have to have an address to get food stamps. How else am I going to get the card? And I heard that homeless shelters steal mail from the clients all the time, or mail goes missing. So, yes, you do have to have an address to get food stamps. And if you target it, why would you try to be coercive and pushy about how I should go to a shelter and follow the rules and just deal with it? You must not be a real TI to talk like that. So, you must not be truly targeted. So, you know, I'm not following any cult rules. And this, oh yeah. And when I went to eat lunch, they had this lady. I mean, she was nice and reached out and was very friendly. She gave me a full bowl of pasta and charged me like a half price, charged me like for the small bowl, but gave me the big bowl. And then she gave me a free drink and was nice and helpful. But I was trying to explain to her about how, I mean, she was trying to ask me, oh, you work here? I said no, and I told her, you know, I'm homeless or whatever. And so then, you know, she was trying to tell me about Unity and trying to say, oh, well, if you go to Unity and stay in a shelter for 2 weeks, oh, you'll get housing or whatever. They'll make sure, I mean, as I said, they'll mob me out of a shelter and make sure I don't even last 2 hours in the shelter and then have to be back on the streets again. They ganged up on me and mobbed me at the Salvation Army and the New Orleans mission. I'm not going back to New Orleans mission. They kick me out of there every time I go there. I'm always breaking their fake cult rules. You're damn right. You're damn right. You're damn right I break the fake cult rules. Not on purpose, but all I got to do is exist and not breaking every rule just by being there, you know. Excuse me. So people say that the homeless shelters are run like that they operate like concentration camps or excuse me, concentration camps or that they operate like concentration camps or prisons, you know. Excuse me. And I've seen, like, yesterday I was reading about a bunch of online forums like Reddit and a few other places, blogs and certain, you know, they said that to be homeless and targeted, they said that one of the last things for the TI to go to is a shelter. you know, and for me to be vulnerable and out and about where they gang stalk me even worse. Excuse me. They gang stalk me even worse. And then, excuse me, the online perps talk, they brag and laugh and talk about Candy has signed her own death warrant. Excuse me. I told y'all that yesterday a perp came and harassed me. Look in a community post on this channel, targeted by the Psych World backup channel, and the online perp, fake sunshine perp, um, you know, made a fake harassing comment saying "drop dead." So they falsely accused me of breaking laws. They making threats to get adult protective services. They act like as if they want to try to make it a point to contact, New Orleans officials to try to force me to stop panhandling. Well, if you wouldn't have got me wrongfully ejected from my apartment, then I could have $300 or $400 and not have to ask anybody for anything, and I could have been living in my apartment. So, but I think I think it was a setup from the beginning, because that Mary Stallworth lady acted like she didn't want me there in the first place, and then she pretended like later on she pretended like as if she pulled strings to bend over backwards for me, and it was kind of find out it was a setup. So I wish people would stop scapegoating and blaming me for me being homeless right now. And excuse me. It's a really they basically try to force you to not survive. And then they're hoping for you to threaten to give up on life so that they can pretend to be fake concerned for your well-being or do a fake welfare check and then talk about, trying to get you locked up in a mental institution where you end up being abused and traumatized even more. And a trauma program in a mental institution is not healing. It's more abuse. So they're trying to push you over the edge and hoping that they can try to make you feel like you want to give up and just don't want to live anymore. But as I said, I keep trying to push myself to rely on Jesus Christ. And, it's very difficult to have some quiet time where I can read or listen to the Bible and pray. Especially when you're out and about on the streets with no peace, no quiet, no privacy, nothing. And constantly distracted. Noise everywhere, loud music everywhere, Well, I guess Pensacola being smaller, I guess it was less populated, but it would be less quiet than New Orleans, So it seems like I still got another 2 weeks left before I can get the Social Security check. And, the online perps don't know whether... One moment they falsely accused me of... And see, I've been having a disabled bus pass, off and on for years. But Starbricker falsely accused me of she falsely accused me of not being disabled and having a fraudulent disabled bus pass. And then the online person for the past couple of years, they've been falsely accusing me of committing Social Security fraud. when I legitimately, and then they call me crazy and retarded, excuse me, or intellectually challenged when I have a bachelor's degree. But then y'all falsely accuse me of scamming and pretending to be disabled. You know, and my twin sister just let these internet strangers think they know it all and speak a lot of lies and just talk a whole bunch of smack about me. And she doesn't even correct them. I mean, she knows that I can take care of myself, but she just let them rant off at whatever lies and false assumptions. Now, the online gang stalkers, they don't try to control how she eat or what she eat. They don't stalk or make a diary about what she eats. They don't try to count her calories. They don't try to, you know, try to guess or try to calculate how much money they think she's spending on food. They don't try to control what she eat or how she eat. Or I'm sorry, I might have said that already. And they don't make insults about her weight like they do me. They don't condemn her for having short hair. I really don't want or like short hair, but I was forced to have to start all over again because of my hair being damaged. You know. So, and it's cold blooded that in the winter nobody want to help you, but people would rather donate their money to fake political causes. They'll rather donate hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to people for political causes, for somebody that's already rich, and you would rather donate to their cause. But somebody is poor, black, and homeless, and disabled, and vulnerable, single, with no support, and then y'all treat me like a burden and yell at me and say nobody has money to help you. I don't have that fortune to have a van to live in or a vehicle to live in. You know, but that was one of the reasons why the professed TI community was suggesting that I get a GoFundMe in the first place. And they said make sure you try to raise funds for a van to live in. And some of those exact same fake TI perps sold out, and then they joined the regular perps with condemning me and falsely accusing me of being a fraud and a scammer. I'm like, well, you were one of the first people to tell me that I should get a GoFundMe or a Cash App or ask for donations. But people are selective on who they want to help, and it's like, as I said, what makes somebody's transitioning to a gender that God, the gender opposite of what God naturally gave them. They could get a whole bunch of GoFundMe donations for that. But for somebody to have just one meal to eat, or one hotel or motel room night out of inclement weather, like I would be, if I had to be out in the streets, having no place to use the bathroom, no place to sleep or rest, no place to shower, no privacy, no safety, and it's New Orleans, so anybody could do me anything, So for them to do that, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. So, like, if I had to stay out all night, I would feel cold and dealing with the humidity, and also being attacked and swarmed by so many mosquitoes. And like, even in this motel room, I had to kill a mosquito and they had another fly or a few mosquitoes up in here, that tore me up or that bit me up, you know. But it was hot earlier today, like at least 80 degrees, and I had to take off my hoodie, and I almost felt like I was melting, you know. So excuse me. So it's almost 10 o'clock. So my legs, I got from the lack of sleep. My legs have big time fluid retention. My legs are very swollen, and so I think I probably have $2.90 in the bank. And tomorrow for breakfast, I saved up $4 from the foster cousin. You know, that will be, as promised, used towards tomorrow's breakfast. And after that, I just have enough money for like maybe um, enough bus fare just for like, a day of bus fare. And then I would have, like, after breakfast tomorrow, I would have no money. So, the online gang stalkers, they project what they desire for me to be. They project that onto and lie and say that this is what I am, and that's the delusional narrative that they want about me. So they falsely accuse me of just pity whoring or pity prostitute, laying on my back in hotel rooms, pity prostituting and begging for money. When I have no choice, and that's not asking for help to survive is not prostituting. Like panhandling, that ain't prostituting. Panhandling is panhandling. You just asking for help. But people will not hire you for work if you're homeless, and then they say you got, it's like another form of detention or prison. That like the whole world is angry with you because you ended up homeless by no fault of your own. I mean, you can have like where your house burned down and you end up homeless and you can't get help because people are falsely assuming. I mean, you can have like, or you could be running from domestic violence and end up homeless, and people will judge your situation and think they know more than you do excuse me, about your situation, and then narcissistically lecture you on what they think they know about you when they don't even know any facts at all. And then they get surprised when you get angry and cuss them from A to Z. And then they will see, well, this is proof that she's mentally unhinged and on drugs. But you had your mind made up to think that way about me anyway. I mean, I thought I was too fat to look like anybody who does drugs. I don't even smoke cigarettes. I don't drink anything. I don't even know what a lot of these drugs look like. I stay to myself. I'm not even on psych meds anymore. That's drugs, but um I don't even take psych meds anymore. So I mean, I really hate, the fact that I had to be forced to, you know, forsake nearly all my possessions, and I just got the clothes on my back. I don't even have an extra spare outfit, and I don't even have the space in my backpack for the extra spare outfit. And then, um, the other duffel bag, I got rid of it. I had difficulty carrying like another bag, and then being treated with obvious homeless and then discriminated against. But I try as best as I can to try to reduce the odor, the bad odor, and try as best as I can to try to shower as close to every day as possible. So I heard that the noise campaign to drive the target away from their home is part of the neighborhood watch gang stalking network cult programming. You know, so if they'll use up loud bass to drive the target away, and then the gang stalkers will pretend that you're the one that's just stopping them from living their normal peaceful life when they're actually invading your privacy and robbing you of peace and your livelihood. you know but I'm surprised that I was able to get some support on Twitter and TikTok for the past couple of days. Excuse me. But I really hate when these narcs that are exploitative and prey on your vulnerability, and they try to make you sabotage yourself while they pretend that they're helping you. It's like you want to try to force me to torment myself with the shelters that will mob me out. I keep telling y'all that they will mob me out within less than 2 hours. Excuse me. And I don't even want, like, me being targeted. They say do not allow other people to have possession of your belongings and you're not there. So the shelter staff could plant drugs in your bag and then set you up, and the police will try to take you to jail. So the shelters are extremely dangerous. And I was like, even when I was by Trisha last year, they said you have to have a local address and a Louisiana state ID and a local address in order to get food from the food bank. So I'm not even eligible to get food from the food bank either. And then the food banks, they give like raw meat and vegetables and food you have to cook. So due to my targeting and my OCD, it's the reason why I stay away from the homeless shelters and the day centers, the day drop-in centers, and and I try to stay away from other homeless and just stay to myself and stay out of trouble. Excuse me. So the gang stalking network, they will falsely report, and now they're trying to make it like as if they will try to falsely report and try to force me to quit writing or block or not allow me to write. And then Star Bricker lied and said that she never told me that I wasn't allowed to write. Well, you make fake bad reviews on all my ebooks, and then you falsely reported every single ebook on Amazon, and only one of them got blocked, wrongfully blocked. So they want to make sure I don't receive any sales on my ebooks, in which that could help me earn a living, and my writings could make its own money and speak for itself. But I can't. I mean, I had novels and a whole bunch of writing projects in mind that they try to, and even on the phone, Star Bricker did try to force me to stop writing, or try to tell me that I should stop writing. You know, so and when so Star Bricker has she thinks she's smarter than everybody. She's brainwashed in a cult, dying of cancer, and she has multiple personalities. But then she lied on me and said that I have a multitude of personality disorders when I'm always consistent. I know I'm always Candy Grand Prix. But she tried to fake a different personality over the phone. And she obtained my phone number without my permission and tried to call and harass or text me, and then, like, as I said, and you're married to a man, and you're sexually perverted and interested in a single woman's life. You're a voyeurist, peeping Tom, and you're a woman married to a man. And then she would even brag about how she would show her husband my videos and that he would laugh and think a certain way. Excuse me. So, it seems like as if they want to try to maliciously, and they don't have the authority or the right to do so. They excuse me, they want to try to cancel and eliminate all of my existence on social media. And TikTok and YouTube, with their fake harassing profiles, they always say that they're never violating any rules. But whenever I expose it, I'm the one who broke XYZ rules and laws. So I have my information in the description box on ways y'all can help me. And what time is it? 10:06 p.m. I'm going to bed, and this Wi-Fi here is extremely slow. So thanks for listening to me. I need any and all the help I can get.